right, everyone, here we go. Port of the island here, now Wili Wili Harbor. That's where the biggest boats come in, like barges and cruise ships. A nice view of Kalapaki Beach out there in front of the Royal Sonesta Resort, a popular Duke's restaurant out there. And then you can see that river up in the corner of the harbor called the Huleia River. That is the same one that was used by Indiana Jones to fly away from the guys chasing him in the movie Raiders of the Lost Ark. More than 100 movies and TV shows have been filmed on the island. We'll see a good variety of those spots today.
Are all the rivers freshwater rivers?
They are, yeah. So there's 16 major rivers and then I don't know how many streams off of those, almost countless it seems. Point 12 Carter's point. See you later. This beautiful ridge area to begin. This one is called Ha'upu Ridge, meaning fond or happy memories in Hawaiian. A great area. Most people don't even get to see this side for a couple of reasons. The helicopters fly a shorter route west of the airport, so they won't normally see this side or the south shore. And it's all private property, belonging to one family, the descendants of a guy named William Hyde Rice. If you ever saw a George Clooney movie called The Descendants, that one was kind of loosely based on the family here. And then Jacob, as Nick mentioned, probably if you do want to switch between those seats, that's totally up to you.
Okay.
Oh, the leg group's kind of nice where you are there. But this bigger beach in the bay here, Kipukai, where they landed the airplane in a movie called 6 Days, 7 Nights. And then the second Jurassic Park. A little girl found some small dinosaurs on that beach right in the beginning of the movie. Which you may recall didn't turn out so well for her in that one, but part of the first 4 Jurassic Parks filmed somewhere on the island. They did skip us with the last few movies though. L-shaped Mahalipu Beach. Really great view from that corner below. On Saturday and Sunday they open the gate so you can drive this grayish dirt road out there, but otherwise just park at the left end The red dirt is CJM Stables. They do horseback riding, but park there and walk out to the beach on your own. Down to the sunny South Shore Poipu area, one of the drier areas. You can see all the yellowish grass this time of the year. This is the Grand Hyatt Resort with Shipwreck Beach in front of it. Well, that'll be Kauai's biggest resort. And again, a beautiful beach, but usually pretty rough water. I'd say more of a surfing beach than swimming oftentimes.
Have ships actually been wrecked there?
There was a wreck 100 years ago, so no evidence of one today, unfortunately, because those always turn into awesome diving sites. The Poipu Beach Park, you have a little Briniki's Beach, that first small one with some good boogie boarding or body surfing waves. Poipu or Waio High next to it with the heart shape. That's a great spot to snorkel or see wildlife in general. Monk seals and sea turtles lie there every single day. But the turtles sleep on that beach overnight, so if you were to go around sunset, that's when you really see a bunch of them, sometimes 20 or 30 turtles at a time. No private beaches in Hawaii. Pretty easy to get to these South Shore ones overall. And kind of a great feature of Kauai Island, there are very few places you would need to pay for parking, especially to go out to a beach. So nice to have one less thing to worry about. Very different than like Honolulu, for example. Here at the end of the private golf course, you see Lauai Bay, Allerton Botanical Gardens go up along that river in the valley, pretty far. It's an area you can tour where you'd find the trees with the big white roots, where they found the dinosaur eggs in the original Jurassic Park.
Coffee plantation.
That's right, Kauai coffee. Not as world famous, of course, as Kona coffee from the Big Island, but Kona is a series of smaller farms in that region. This, by comparison, is one huge farm. That's 4 million coffee trees and about 3,100 acres. And those go a few miles ahead of us. They definitely look more like bushes, but technically a tree, and each one produces about a pound of coffee per year.
I saw you in my dream. We were walking hand in hand on a white sandy beach of Hawaii. We were playing in the sun. We were having so much fun on a white sandy beach of Hawaii.
The coffee just kind of keeps going. Below us, and kind of on our left side, there's a visitor center along the curb in the road. If you want to go take a free tour of the coffee and get a bunch of free samples. While that bay beyond the farm is Port Allen. That's where most of the larger catamaran-style boat tours leave from. That'll also take you to the Nepali coast.
Those hot, long summer days, lying there in the sun on a white sandy beach of Hawaii. The sound of the ocean soothes my restless soul. The sound of the ocean rocks me all night long.
Just crossing over the main highway. Makes that letter C shape around the island's perimeter. No roads are going across the Nepali coast. Really no paved roads to the middle of the island. They say as much as 82% of Kauai is still uninhabited today. Kind of amazing, but it means we're leaving civilization for a good while.
Traffic friendly 6550.
A big reason so much of the island is uninhabited. Big chunks of it are private property. So we've crossed over onto private land now from kind of the right edge of that green Hanapepe Valley all the way ahead of us until almost Waimea Canyon. This is all Robinson family land. You might have heard reference to the Robinsons already. They own the entire island of Ni'ihau offshore to the west. You kind of see the silhouette of it. Bought that intending to raise cattle, discovered it's really dry. So moved to Kauai, bought up all this land for sugar cane. That's what all the fields used to be. Nowadays they have some cattle grazing on parts of their land. They'll rent out some areas to field corn companies who grow corn for research purposes. And then the upslope plan being so difficult, they just kind of keep natural. But they do have some of their estate homes on these hills. You kind of see some of them up there by the right wingtip, for example. Not where they live, but more so like the weekend or holiday house. The island does get much, much rainier towards the center. Up there about our 1 o'clock right now, way in the clouds, is Waialeale Mountain, one of the world's rainiest spots. That averages nearly 500 inches of rain throughout the year. And that's why that part is almost always cloudy. But if you're up around sunrise, that's your best chance to maybe see it clear. Even then, you have to get a bit lucky. I'll see some changes in the scenery out to the west. The island does get a lot drier out this way in particular, but we still have these big valleys carved out by that rain I mentioned off of Waialeale. Yeah, so you'll see the rivers or river beds in the bottom of each valley. This big one we're approaching is Olokele Canyon. And all of Olokele here is still Robinson land. Looking very similar to the Waimea Canyon, but technically that's a little further west. Olokele wind south.
Robinson family owned land on other islands.
Only Kauai and Niihau offshore to the west, so not any of the others.
Are people able to hike down into the valley?
Not in here because it's private, but certainly in some other areas. Yep, the Waimea Canyon has kind of one trail to the bottom and then a couple off of that for like multi-day camping trips, for example. Most of the day hikes are kind of more on top of the canyon, so you can look down into it. Yeah, and then where the island flattens out, essentially straight ahead of us, that whole plateau area is regarded as the Alakai Swamp, which is swamp on top of a mountain is pretty unique. That's where many waterfalls come from. And it's also home to some of the rarest plants and rarest birds on Earth. So I love to hike up there on occasion. Try and find those birds to get pictures. That would be accessed from the end of Waimea Canyon Road. So not below us, but still a ways ahead of us. Under wildlife. So we're about to leave behind the private land, into the state-owned land of beautiful Waimea Canyon, often nicknamed the Grand Canyon of the Pacific. So you can think of it like it's 4 valleys. This real narrow one called Waialae Valley. You'll see in the back of it a whole series of waterfalls called the Waialae Falls. Just gorgeous all around. Some areas this canyon almost 3,700 feet deep. Such colors, those horizontal lines in the rock, the individual lava flows again that stacked up on each other a long time ago. When Kauai was still an active volcano, but of course the only volcanic activity in Hawaii today is over there on the Big Island at Kilauea. Bet you guys didn't know this, but you reserved the whole island when you booked this tour. There is not another aircraft up right now, so pretty cool being this late in the day. A lot of people are done flying by now.
This is a story of a tragic event that happened in the olden days, long time ago. This song is for the little, not the last, Hawaiian fishing village in the state of Hawaii.
From some of the lookouts, if you did drive the road up the canyon, again straight ahead, highly recommend it. But you can see across the valley to some tall, a little bit dry waterfalls right now. And back on our right, 800-foot Waipo'o Falls. That's a beautiful canyon hiking trail right to the top of the waterfall. Called Waimea Canyon Trail, only 1.3 miles each way. Really not bad. Myself up for my grid. You'll see that road cross right below us, and you can appreciate it does get right out there to the edge. It's not a real difficult drive though, just a bit windy, but it's not too long. The road's in pretty good condition overall. About halfway up it, you tend to lose cell phone service, so you're not going to get lost. But if you needed like specific directions on a hike or to a hike, you just want to look that up early on. Out to our left side, the southwest corner of the island. That's the largest beach in Hawaii, called Polihale. About 17 miles long. Most of it is accessible, some of it closed off to a military base out on the corner, but that north end is spectacular, going up to the cliffs. And then again, the island of Niihau, owned by the Robinsons out there. Continue towards the ocean right over these cliffs ahead, and some areas more than 4,000 feet tall. As this here will slowly be giving way to what you could think of as the crown jewel of Kauai, our world famous Napali coast. But these very first cliffs into Nuololo Valley, just over 2,000 feet high.
Myself, Nuololo.
Beautiful Napali coast here. Napali simply means the cliffs. Carved down, visible by air, by boat, even partial views from some hiking trails. In fact, all four of these major ridges right in this area have their own trails out to the edges for the top-down views. Some stunning beaches out here. Kind of this double looking one we're approaching is called Honopu. As we get some angles on it, you'll see there's a tunnel through that rock in the middle of it. So it is one single beach, but the only legal way to go there is by swimming. Yes, that one's a sacred or holy site where the ancient Hawaiians would bury their royalty. And the cliffs behind it. That's why you can't even land a kayak or a surfboard on it. Closer at me are these spikes in the rock. These are nicknamed the cathedrals. Spectacular. Easily some of the most dramatic terrain in all of Hawaii. And then they lead into Kalalau Valley. So the largest valley on the coast at the end of Waimea Canyon Road. Be standing on top of the valley, up there in the back, about 4,200 feet high.
My phone about 360 out, Kalalau.
Here just for a few more angles on the Nepali coast here. The whole coast is about 16 miles long. And then they're back by the left wingtip. You can see a little bit of that light, sunlight coming through the tunnel at Honopu. Wider view of those cathedrals. Now beneath them is Kalalau Beach, so that's the end of the Kalalau hiking trail. It goes way up ahead of us, officially about 11 miles each way. And it's often ranked in the top 10 most dangerous hikes on Earth, so not for everyone, but with the right permits, people hike in there all the time. We'll even camp there up to 5 nights.
Off Red Hill.
Just then I'll be switching from the leeward side to the windward side. So probably got 2 minutes of these little bumps. Then we'll be up to another smoother area. And if you look carefully at the bottom of the cliffs, you see parts of the trail. Kind of way down where the foliage ends, there's that tiny red line. Which we do sometimes spot people hiking it. I just appreciate there's not a lot there. Pretty narrow.
A lot of the canopy is two-tone, like a lighter green and a darker green. What are the two big trees?
Yeah, just tree varieties. Like you see that real light green that's scattered even up the mountainsides. That's the kukui tree, the state tree of Hawaii. They produce the kukui nut, that real dark brown nut that is made into those leis you've probably seen in the gift shops. They traditionally give those to their royalty. And then you see even more sea caves in this area. So you might have seen some already. They're all over the Napali coast, but this area has the biggest ones, some of them a few 100 feet long. And that's where those smaller Zodiac style boat tours take you right in and out of the cave. Tend to be a little bit rough, but it's an adventure out there on those. Mostly a summertime activity when the water on this side is calm. Wintertime is known for wild swells on this side, sometimes 20, 30, 40, 50-foot waves. Massive out here, so a lot of days in the winter the boat tours won't get to Napali coast. However, it's humpback whale season, so they may still go out and just kind of stick to the calmer areas to look for whales.
Let's turn off
Ke'e Beach up here on the corner. This is where the road ends and the big Kalalau Trail begins up the coast. And you may be familiar, you need a reservation to come up here, which can be really tough to get. That parking reservation, you normally need to book 30 days ahead. Within about 10 seconds, it sells out so fast. But alternatively, there are shuttles, both from Princeville and Hanalei, that are much easier to get. They just cost a bit more, like $40 a person. But even just that simple reservation, you could do 2 miles in on the trail to Hanakapiai Beach, or 2 miles further up the river into the back of that valley. You kind of see our 2 o'clock. There's a 300-foot waterfall out there, Hanakapiai Falls, and very popular to hike up and swim under. To the north shore here, coming past Tunnels Beach, this massive reef below us, well known for snorkeling. It is a bit of a walk from the parking area to that point. Yeah, the parking can be a little difficult to find a spot, but the view is spectacular out there. That's another great photo spot.
Just there this morning.
Oh yeah, right on. Did you walk around the dry cave as well, Kate? Did you find that?
Yeah, we did. That was pretty cool.
Pretty neat, right?
Lemon drops high above the chimney top. That's where you find me, oh, somewhere over the rainbow. Bluebirds fly, and the dream that you dare to, oh why can't I? Well, I see trees of green and red roses too. I watch them bloom for me and you, and I to myself.
I'm sure you're not allowed to say, but where's Zuckerberg's place?
Oh, I can say whatever I want. So he's way up on the corner there. So you see the point at the lighthouse, just around the corner there by Pila'a Beach and Larson's Beach. He's got like 1,500 acres up there now.
I hear there's tension between him and locals because he like built
Yeah, he started off with some tension. Now, I was told that he bought a bunch of land that encompassed something called Hawaiian homelands, which are like lands owned by certain families passed down through generations. And anybody that was on his land, he sued. So it's kind of what you don't do. But I don't know. On his side, I heard somebody say that he was trying to just see who he owed money to. I don't know about that. But yeah, in any case, he did get some good graces when we had record flooding in this area in 2018. A bunch of people had to be boated out. I guess he paid for a bunch of that and donated a bunch of money. But he's good friends apparently with the mayor, so that's no surprise, I guess. But yeah, not a lot of friends with other people, maybe. Oh, this is the Hanalei Bay. So Hanalei town on the inland side. It's a nice area to walk around. Lots of shops, restaurants. Highly recommend you check out this beach by the pier. Well, those boats are moored. If you haven't been, you have that spectacular view. Very calm water. A nice sandy bottom. That one recently ranked the best beach in Hawaii by Hawaii Magazine. On the quieter resort community of Princeville here. A little bit funny to see it from the air. It's a lot bigger than it seems when you're driving through it. But if you kind of look straight down below us in the tide pools, there's several ponds. Right on the cliff's edge below us, there's a brown-roofed house. Way out there. Straight below that, there's kind of a greener pond shaped like a kidney bean in the rocks. Often has a bunch of people. Yeah, you can see a number of people down there. That's Queen's Bath, where Queen Emma from the Big Island would come to swim when she would visit back in the mid-1800s. It's kind of a common or popular spot. Very dangerous in the winter with those big swells, so they have a gate that they just close off access to that area for the whole winter. Here up the east end of Princeville, you see Anini Beach, and Anini has that huge reef off of it, so that works like a shield for the waves. Not that there are a lot of waves this time of the year up here anyways, but you also have lots of potentially great snorkeling. Any of it can be nice. Kind of find your own spot. Up ahead by the boat ramp, there's a campground, so a little bit busier there, but you do have some added conveniences if you like to have like a shower or bathroom around.
Mike Albanini.
Lots of these flooded fields down by Hanalei. This is where they grow taro, a root vegetable that's so famously made into poi. You know, I see at the luau's. But quite a variety of other things, chips and fries and rolls. Here in Honolulu and on the east side in Kauai, there's a food truck. There are food trucks called the Holy Grail Donuts that make some taro-based donuts that are really good. It's a big operation. About 60% of the whole state of Hawaii is taro grown in this general area below. Agriculture, the number 2 source of revenue for the island behind the tourism.
By low saddle south.
Now heading up into the Honolulu River Valley. This one goes up the center of the island. And it's public land, but there are no roads through it. One long hiking trail to the east along those power lines, so not a lot of foot traffic. But as we fly the valley, keeping out some of these lower sections, you'll see more waterfalls. And a number of the lowest down waterfalls are kind of always flowing. Some of the higher marks or scars up the mountains that maybe look like they should be waterfalls only show up right after we've had some heavier rain. Radically lush and green, and see why they call it the Garden Island. That bright lime green that seems to cover everything. Those are largely thousands of ferns. Yeah, many types of ferns are native, but a majority of the most famous plant life in Hawaii today is surprisingly not native. Pineapples were brought here from South America, macadamia nuts brought from Australia, things like taro, breadfruit, and all the coconut varieties were brought here, largely with the first Polynesians. They likely came here from the Marquesas Islands, almost 2,500 miles to the southeast. By some estimates, their arrival even more than 1,000 years ago. Near the heart of the island, so Waialeale is just ahead here. This is the one I mentioned as one of the rainiest places on Earth. on top. So that's still well covered by clouds. And a few more waterfalls tucked in some of these corners. You see the Twin Falls straight out to our right. And that corner, that's the start of the Hanalei River. That, of course, empties out by that beautiful pier and the Hanalei Bay on the north shore.
Found a dormant volcano.
This one's considered extinct.
Extinct?
Yeah, it's one of the oldest islands. Some of the books will say the last eruption was a small one on the south shore around 40,000 years ago.
Where is my love? Kamalani.
Just beyond this next ridge, this is kind of where they call Waialeale Crater, perhaps that original volcanic event with these sheer walls going up there into the clouds more than 5,000 feet. With the actual summit called Kauai, 5,243 feet high.
Mike 12, clear to north wall.
Yeah, not quite high enough to get cold enough for snow. We do get snow in Hawaii, mostly on the Big Island, at the Mauna Kea and Mauna Loa peaks, both of those approaching 14,000 feet. So nice and cold up there. Haleakala on Maui will average snow about once every 5 years. That's just over 10,000 feet. But they did get some snow this past winter up there.
Here in this paradise, please come to me, Kamalani. When nights are still, Kamalani, you can hear the voice of Pukanui.
Hui Tower, information Victor 0249er Zulu. Wind 070 at 14.
You'll be together
Ceiling 4,400 overcast. Temperature 262.19er. Altitude 3009er. ILS approaches in use. Landing and departing runway 35. Also departing runway 3. Note that runway 3 is closed to landing aircraft. Trades procedures at the heliport. Advise.
Out to the east, lots more of these flat top trees here. Kind of look like broccoli from above, especially how dense they are. Now, that's a variety called albizia. Native to Indonesia and Papua New Guinea. Beautiful to look at, but very invasive, as these ones can grow almost an inch per day when conditions are ideal. So they do spread everywhere, take over. Some areas they'll cut them down and burn them for electricity. And then they replant with some more organized fields of trees ahead. These are Australian eucalyptus that are simply planted for renewable energy.
We'll be together again. Come on, come on. You hear the sound of his voice here in this paradise. Come on, come on.
Heading now towards the east shore of the island ahead. Almost all beaches. Kauai has the most beach per area of all the islands, about 50% of the whole shoreline. Natural beach. Fun way to see the east side ones. You can rent bicycles a couple places in the town of Kapa'a. It's a real easy paved ride right along the ocean out there.
Hui Tower, Wings 12 approaching Lakes for the Falls 60.
12, Hui Tower report, leaving the falls.
We're leaving the Falls, Wings 12.
I swing down the South Fork of this Wailua River, by far the most popular river for kayaking tours. But they kind of go up the North Fork underneath and behind us. Disappearing into the trees, they'll head out to something called the Secret Falls, a little 100-foot trickling water waterfall. And then down the South Fork here, there's one more you can drive to. That's about 15 minutes from the airport, 183-foot Wailua Falls. And just below the right wingtip from where you parked the car, they look like two falls, but head on, you'll be able to see there's a third one there.
Mike 12, leaving the falls.
Wings 12, report in the harbor, left base runway 35.
Norfolk Harbor, wings 12.
Our way back towards Lihue ahead. So this is the second largest city on island, even though it often seems like the biggest. It has the most infrastructure, about 9,000 residents. Lihue, Kapa'a, around 11,000. And then our whole island, 72,000 total residents, with that normal year about 1.2 million visitors. Makes Kauai the fourth most visited island. In that regard, Oahu is most visited, followed then by Maui, Big Island, and then Kauai. Slowly coming back into landoff. I didn't say it already, just make sure you got those seatbelts fastened.
Mike 12, harbor, left base.
Wings 12, runway 35, clear land.
Clear to land 35, wings 12.
The lighthouse? Yeah, you can drive out to that one. That's called the Ninini Point Lighthouse. Nice view of the planes coming in, of course the bay there. You can also check out the Kilauea Lighthouse on the North Shore. That's a little bit more up on a cliff. And that's a bird sanctuary, so a lot of seabirds nesting up on the North Shore one. But this one's not bad to get out to, just a bunch of speed bumps to go over.